Hi everyone. I'm Dreamy Luck. And this is what your rank says about you. Bronze 1. Congratulations, you either downloaded the game 5 minutes ago, accidentally clicked ranked, or your randoms are already planning their retirement. At this point you're probably still trying to super walls because they look breakable. The only draft strategy you know is pick whoever looks cool. Bronze 2. You've started figuring out that aiming exists, but auto-aim is still your best friend. Every match feels like a coin flip. Sometimes you carry, sometimes you somehow walk into every single bush on the map. Your teammates are beginning to lose hope, but not completely. Bronze 3. You're finally escaping the tutorial section of Ranked. You know what gadgets are, but remembering to use them is another story. You still think every brawler can work on every map, and honestly, that's a dangerous mindset. Silver 1. You finally escaped bronze. Nice. If you're still here after a while though, I have some questions. Are you playing with one finger? Maybe your toes? Because somehow you're losing games that should be impossible to lose. Silver 2. You're starting to understand the basics, but every time your team needs you most, you somehow find the nearest enemy Shelly with super. Your positioning consists of walk forward and hope. Silver 3. You think you're ready for gold, but every match reminds you that maybe, just maybe, you're not. You're improving though, and that's what matters. At least you're no longer blaming lag for every single death. Gold 1. This is where almost everyone develops a favorite brawler. And let's be honest, 99% of you picked Edgar. Every game starts with the exact same plan: jump in, spam every button, and hope something good happens. Gold 2. You now believe you can outplay anyone. Unfortunately, confidence doesn't increase your damage. Somehow your Edgar is always first pick, even on the worst possible maps. Gold 3. You're close to diamond, so your ego is growing faster than your skill. Every loss is because of randoms, every win is because you carried. That's just how gold players think. Diamond 1. Welcome to the first rank that feels somewhat serious. Draft mode is here, and suddenly you actually have to think before the match starts. You probably hate bans, hate drafting, and somehow still lock Edgar into every terrible matchup imaginable. Diamond 2. You're starting to understand counter picks, but only after the enemy has already picked them. Progress is progress. You spend more time complaining about your teammates' drafts than thinking about your own. Diamond 3. One more rank until Mythic. If there's one piece of advice I can give you, stop first picking Edgar into absolutely everything. Trust me, your teammates will thank you. Mythic 1. Now we're getting somewhere. This is the transition between the casual players and people who actually know what they're doing. Some players got here because their friends carried them, while others are finally learning drafts, bans, lane control, and team compositions. Mythic 2. People here are surprisingly chill. Most of them actually touch grass every once in a while. Games become less about mechanics and more about making smart decisions. Well, unless someone first picks Mortis. Mythic 3. You're so close to Legendary that every loss hurts twice as much. One bad random can send you into a 5-game losing streak, and suddenly you're questioning every life decision you've ever made. Legendary 1. Now this is where hell begins. As a hard-stuck Legendary player myself, I can tell you exactly how it works. One day you gain 1000 ELO and feel like the greatest Brawl Stars player alive. The next day you queue with teammates who think bans are just suggestions, and somehow you're back in Mythic. Legendary 2. Nobody here sleeps. Nobody goes outside. Their daily routine is wake up, queue ranked, lose 80 ELO, gain 90 ELO, repeat for 6 hours. Ask them about their hobbies and they'll just queue another game. Legendary 3. Escaping Legendary is one of the hardest parts of ranked for the average player. It can take weeks, sometimes months. Every match feels like the World Finals, except your random forgot to ban the strongest brawler in the game. Masters 1. You finally made it to Masters. Congratulations, now every mistake you make gets judged by people who think they're playing in the World Finals. Half the lobby is cracked out of their minds, and the other half somehow convinced a friend to carry them here. Every game feels like you're one bad draft away from questioning your entire existence. Masters 2. At this point, everyone knows the meta. People actually ban the right brawlers, swap picks, and know every matchup. If you lose lane, your teammates will notice immediately and they'll make sure you know it. You're also the friend everyone messages with, "Can you help me push ranked?" and somehow you always end up saying yes. Masters 3. You're one step away from pro. The pressure is unreal. Every match feels like it decides your entire career, even though you're probably just playing from your bedroom. One bad random can erase hours of progress, and one great teammate can make you believe in humanity again. If you actually reach pro from here, you've officially earned the right to flex, just don't make it your entire personality. Pro. And finally, pro rank. If you're here, congratulations. You're among the very best ranked players in the world. Every game is stacked with insane mechanics, perfect drafts, and players who know almost everything about the game. Of course, every pro also believes they're the final boss of Brawl Stars. Whether that's true or not, I'll let the comments section decide. Either way, if you made it this far, you've officially completed ranked. Now please, go drink some water, touch some grass, and maybe see the sun for the first time this week.